Welcome back, episode... Oh no, I think this is 99.
Yep.
Episode 99 to revisit it, and same old. We are talking about Demon Slayer and refining the Shounen Formula by... I left my phone over there to charge, so I do not know the name of the person right now.
Why did you leave it over there?
To charge.
Why don't you have a...
That is a good question, DA.
I'm stalling.
To pull up the description.
Glass reflections.
Reflection. He looks a lot like remember that guy we did for the Fumble Bundle, the Bleach thing? His setup looks a lot like that one.
It's a very easy setup to have. A poster, some manga. This and that.
Description, boys.
As we near the end of the season, I wanted to take a brief look
Season 1, episode 19.
No. I gotta look at the dates. At UFO tables, UFO tape, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, and see what it takes from other shows of its kind and how it tries to refine what we know about the genre and if it helps make it good or not.
It is not refining anything. It is doing the exact same thing other things have done. I don't know why, and I'm sure I've said almost the exact word verbatim. I don't know why Demon Slayer gets this pass as this. It is ground the shonen formula down into a fine paste that it spreads over a delicious sandwich or something. I don't understand why other shonen is just like, it's generic. Yeah, it's doing the same thing. It's nothing special.
It taps into something for people that is unheard of.
So, the third season came out recently, and I decided I'll go into one of the main Demon Slayer topics just to see what people are talking about. Reddit, Reset Era, whatever. Just to see what people are talking about.
Nope.
One of the first comments I saw was... my wife just bought me all of the volumes, but I'm waiting to read them because I'd rather see the animation. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, there's nothing else to say.
What are we doing here? It's like, okay, close thread.
And I closed thread. I didn't need to see anything else. I'm so tired of this. It's so prettyful, and because of that propels it past being and this is what it is. Mediocre shonen. Mediocre. 6 on a great day, 4 on a okay day.
This video came out May 27th, 2019.
And that is... Oh, 19 you say?
2019, yes. That is. On May 25th, 2019, the 8th episode had just premiered.
Of season 1?
Of season 1.
What's the purpose?
It's redefining already.
Okay. This is also another thing. And I feel like this is why we have, in terms of if people want to be big, if they look at us and like, why aren't you bigger? This is why we quote unquote failed to be bigger. Because I feel like a lot of people either trend surf or
it's very easy to do so.
or pigeonhole themselves into one genre, one thing, like Mark with Dragon Ball. And then once they get big enough, then they can start branching out to the other things that they may want to talk about. We immediately go in with, I want to do this AMV and I'm going to name it a goofy title. Kids Next Door with some hard rock? Sure, why not? I don't care. And I feel like this is one of those things where the season isn't even over. You see it trending on Twitter, so you quickly write out
redefining.
It's refining the shonen formula. 8 episodes in. Imagine a critic writing a review of a movie going 40 minutes in, and this is one of the greatest films I've ever seen. Like, what are you doing?
The medium of film will never recover from...
You a third of the film in!
Dude, Zenitsu Zenitsu has not been introduced. Inosuke has not been introduced. We have Tanjiro.
I think that's Swamp Demon.
Sister.
I think that's around Swamp Demon.
Right before the episode with Tomoyo.
That's Swamp Demon.
Yep, he had just done Swamp Demon. This is unbelievable.
But is it?
I think so, because I am...
There you go.
After I finished up with Arakawa Underbridge, I went, all right, I have been downloading a bunch of manga. Mm-hmm. And...
legally, of course.
No, illegally. Come get me, whomever. Some of them might not be licensed. I don't care. But I was just like, I'm just going to read a bunch of manga, the first 5 to 7 chapters,
to see what grabs you.
Yeah, and that's also depending on if there's an arc that happens and I don't want to end it, so maybe it goes off to 10 or something.
Or
so
an arc's about to begin and you're just like, well, I'm only 6 chapters in, let me stop right here.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is good. This is really good. This is amazing. I'm not thinking in the mindset of this is redefining or this is the revolutionizing. I'm like, no, this is very good. I like the characters here.
Speaking of manga, what's one of those recent ones you were talking about? Because I need more manga.
Exorcist Girl Reina.
Okay.
I love
Was that the werewolf one where they're getting on your neck over
I can't say nothing! There's nothing that can be said! Gavin asked a legitimate question. Hey, how do you feel about this? I just read how old? I'm like, what did you...
There's no answer you could give that would be any
nothing.
good.
I can't express interest without people going, yeah, but you a pedo. Jesus Christ!
What? Oh,
so I'm caught up in Comey.
Okay. Finally.
I love her.
Finally!
I love her.
Remember when you were talking about the race and I was like, oh, so you caught up? It was because of the race chapter.
That shot of her slowly going ahead with Comey arm stretch, I felt so bad. The dynamic that I love, this is not even really a dynamic. It's one person that makes, and then there's another person that can make that dynamic better. Mm-hmm. A try-hard is one of my favorite things in the world. And Comey's just going, I'll face you as many times as I can. I'll lose, but all I need is that one win. Yeah. And that's good on its own. But then the other side of the coin is just and I'll just be there to beat you. The non-malicious, I'll be there to beat you. It's like, I've got nothing against you. You're just in my way.
Yeah, you are literally a wall.
That dynamic is so great. And that chapter where they were running, where she starts the chapter going, personal best, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And then it ends, and they just go, they got back to the hotel in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. I was just like, wait a second, what did they say before? I was like, oh, so she was running faster so she could, and then I'm like, right after doing the quiz thing, it's Comey and her. The quiz was so good. The quiz was so good. But it just cuts back to them running, and Comey is huffing and puffing. And then it cuts to the girl, she's also huffing and puffing. I'm like, it's try hard. It's so good.
Comey is so good.
It's so good. I regret catching up.
And you know, I'm one of those people that are like, I'll catch up in a thing and just read it as it comes out. I recently got into this manga called Madaka Koro Iwa is Impervious to My Charms. It's essentially a kid grew up in a monastery. He's trying to be a monk. And to test himself, he transfers into a school so he can meet with people, girls, that type of thing. So he can clear his mind and make sure he can get through the monkhood. And there's this girl who is the prettiest girl in the school. But she's actually a vindictive piece of which is just like, hey, outwardly she's like, hey, how's everybody doing? And inwardly like, everyone respects and loves me as they should because I'm f***ing awesome. But this guy refuses to because he has no wall for it. So he's always just scowling at her, just like blank face. And the entire manga is her trying to make him fall in love with her. and I am 20 chapters away, and I'm like, I kinda don't wanna. It's giving me real Love is War vibes, and I love Kaguya-sama. Love Kaguya-sama.
There's a couple where I'm just like, don't want to do it. Aharen-san is one of my favorite things that I've read probably since Komi, and it's over. It has finished.
And you can't.
And I can't. It's gonna be one of those cat dance things where I'm just like, I'm just gonna skip 3 chapters, and those 3 chapters are always gonna be there. Yeah, it's
it sucks.
It most certainly do be like.
And this is a weird thing to bring up, but it was a stream recently of Trigger. Just like, if I wasn't making videos off of this, I wouldn't be watching anime and all that stuff. And I can't imagine making content on something like that. You just exploded over Komi. I am legitimately contemplating not reading further because I love it so much. I can't imagine doing any type of content on something you do not love.
Yeah. It's just...
And everybody that ever comes to us, never... No matter what it is, whatever y'all ask us to do, whatever y'all ask us not to do, never forget, we make this content for us.
Number 1.
If other people enjoy it,
number 3, number 4, number
it is
5.
for us because we love doing this and we love listening to it. I cannot tell you how much of my day used to be taken up by just listening to Revisit It. Just listening to myself and him. Let's get into this, I guess.
8 episodes.
Yeah, that's crazy talk, dude. I feel like one of these days we're gonna wind up like, hey, we haven't done this, and then we've actually done it. And we're gonna get like 80% into the video, like, hey, wait, hold on, this sounds familiar.
I really do love it when the title of an anime is short, sweet, and tells you exactly what you are in for. Hey, maybe the show is about a guy called Jojo who goes on a bizarre adventure. That's what the title says. This anime is called Goblin Slayer.
What's the benefit of that?
I guess it could instantly hook somebody. Like Goblin Slayer. Alright, I know what I'm getting into.
Sure, but surely you could take a couple of seconds to read the description.
No.
I wonder what it's about.
And what does that say
Perhaps
about shows like Naruto, where you look at the title and go, which one's Naruto?
I guess the main character.
No, but you don't know.
But now I do.
One Piece, what's that? One Piece of
Bleach.
what? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, what kind of adventure? There's still questions
a bizarre one
to be had based upon that because you don't know what's going on.
This is clearly just him just going.
But I just don't understand
why you even put pen to paper and mouth to mic.
Yeah, I don't understand the benefit of just going. No, I get it. No. Child's Play. Yeah, it's about a little doll. Okay.
I wouldn't even say Demon Slayer is about Demon Slayers because Hashira take a real back seat to Tanjiro and his antics of healing his sister.
And it's not even really about demon slaying. It's about Tanjiro getting his sister back.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to slay demons in order to do that.
To.
You don't even really have to do that.
I mean, you have to take out Muzan at some point.
I guess he is a demon.
Yes.
It does not say demons slayer.
Or does it? Mistranslation.
Slayer, I wonder what it's about. Perhaps a guy who goes around slaying things? What does he slay? Why not goblins? Every once in a while you're gonna get something like Hunter x Hunter, where you first have to decipher the title in order for it to make sense. Like, is it Hunter x Hunter? Is it about a hunter who hunts hunters? Let's figure that one out over time. Though really, as long as we don't get the extremely long, obnoxious light novel titles, I'm good. Otherwise, for the show that we're going to be looking at today...
But they tell you what the story is about. That time I was reincarnated as a fridge or whatever. It's like, you know
vending machine.
I'm sure there's a fridge one.
There is. No, there is.
Okay.
No.
Then don't bother correcting me.
I don't think it was reincarnated as a fridge. I think it was something like... my frozen life as a fridge reincarnated into blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What? Why?
I think they're funny.
The titles?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. But I can't imagine the person that will pick it up and read it. Like, I just don't get isekais.
No, it's fine.
I can't.
Yep, it's fine.
And I've tried. Dude, I have legitimately 8 isekais I'm going through right now, and I don't understand any of them. Except Valhalla Penis Mansion.
I can't believe my sister turned into a demon, and I don't want to slay her, or something. Demon Slayer is a much better title. It is short, sweet, and while you might think it wraps up the entire show's narrative in a nice little bow, so that it's easy to explain, it's actually a bit more complicated than that. This video was brought to you by Crunchyroll and viewers like you. Thank you.
Is that Persona music?
Demon Slayer is a new anime from the talented folks over at Studio Ufotable. It does a lot of things right, but most of these are not necessarily obvious. When we talk about shonen anime, there are certain characteristics, popular tropes, and tried and true narrative formulas.
And then when anybody does anything different, auga.
I don't understand how you can so confidently say Demon Slayer is either refining these tropes or not doing these tropes when you are 8 episodes into the show.
You don't know. You've got Orokodaki, you've got Tanjiro, you've got Nezuko, who is not a character.
You got Hair Demon.
You got Giyu. You got Hand Demon. You got Swamp Demon.
Tanjiro's Crow.
That's basically it. Unless you want to count the two twin girls. You want to count Zenitsu appearing very briefly. Like 5-6 sentences, people. So we're sub 10 characters. And you're just like redefining.
Okay, let's see what is refined in the shonen genre.
We know what's refined in the shonen genre. Luffy wants to be the pirate king. Tanjiro wants to save his sister. Please clap.
Naruto wants to be Hokage.
They want to be the best in their field. Skip ahead a minute. We're done here. We ain't gotta listen to it.
That get used and reused ad nauseum. Each time with the story trying to find a new angle from which to pull in a fresh audience. But here with Demon Slayer, I can't rightfully say that there are many things narratively that the series does differently. A lot of the story as written is painfully shonen, but that...
Okay, what is trying to bring people in shonen-wise, just taking it from a different angle? Because I don't think My Hero Academia does anything different from, like, a Black Clover. So what is the angle it's trying to slot into?
Yeah, it's. I would like an explanation for that. Because, yeah, the best I can say about My Hero is the whole Bakugo, this is the moment that he would turn, but he didn't. Yeah, I don't. But again, right back to, it's shonen, but... ellipses.
Necessarily a bad thing, because if you play your cards right, a well-written story can invoke the same feelings as similar narratives without coming off as a carbon copy or a stolen plotline. You can have episodes with characters training to become stronger, only to fight in a competition in an enclosed area to prove their worth, and then join some organization of similarly skilled fighters without being called a ripoff to either My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter, or the slew of shows.
I would never assume that somebody is ripping something off because they train for a goal and then join an organization.
Yeah, that's Omega Goofy.
That is...
I don't even look at, like, Kurakawa basketball as a ripoff of Slam Dunk. They're trying to accomplish different things, even if they're both playing basketball.
I don't think that even the similarities are there, but something like Naruto and Black Clover, I don't think that, oh man, he wants to be the Wizard King because he wasn't acknowledged. That's just like Naruto. No, it's a story thing.
It's not even about acknowledgement for him. He just wants a better life for the people.
There's certain things about acknowledgement there as well.
Yeah,
everybody's right. Everybody's correct. But yeah, I don't. The whole ripoff thing, because I keep saying this, there are so few wholly unique stories to tell.
I can't remember the last one. I've watched, read, heard, anything.
There's nothing, and I'm going to say this as a definitive, nothing that you can watch or read that you can't point to and go, they did something similar in something else. Now, I'm not saying that
did it of...
This isn't like just go with the grain. Don't try to do anything different. But no, don't try to prop yourself up as something unique. Don't try to prop yourself up as something like, oh, this is just...
Don't point out that it feels similar to something else. Because everything is going to feel similar to something else. Even if you haven't consumed the thing that it feels similar to. Because let's say, why would that be a criticism of, let's say, Black Clover and people feel it's similar to Naruto? What if a person has never read Naruto? What is your criticism of Black Clover now? Because a lot of times the criticism is it feels like a ripoff.
What if somebody didn't see a Madoka Magica and then there was another Mahou Shoujo girl manga or anime that got real dark? There's no derivative to be derived from there. Then you just have to critique it as a thing. I do not like the whole, this is just like this thing over here. It's not a criticism worth having because we don't know the influences that the person had. We don't know if the person is even aware of the thing that is
parallel thinking.
Just training and going into an organization. You could be like, oh, just like Hunter x Hunter. It's like, what?
Why would you even think that's why would that even enter into your mind? I have never watched a training thing, then person go into organization and be like, that's just like thing I recognize from before.
Even if it was something like really tough gravity training, I wouldn't be like, oh, just like Dragon Ball. I'm like, no, that's a good way
weighted clothes.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah, Rock Lee didn't drop the weights and they were like, oh, it's like Dragon Ball, even though he was weighted down with clothing. Like,
of shows in the genre that came before them. Even if all of these episodes follow the same narrative beats, we don't tire of them. There are enough new elements.
No. You can get tired of them. You can get tired of there are a lot of people that are out there that's just like, I need something outside of the shonen genre. Or not genre, but the shonen formula because I am just tired of it. Because, again, Demon Slayer is like other things, and there's no reason to praise it for being different. But if you're gonna praise it for essentially being the same, I feel like you should praise everything for essentially being the same because it's not doing anything particularly well in its sameness.
To the stories with just the characters alone to push your interest through to the end. This is a fine line that Demon Slayer rides very well. Episode 1 opens up with the introduction of our
synopsis, boys.
No way. This is going to be 20 seconds and he's going to explain himself. He's dressed too sharply to be a bum.
Protagonist, Tanjiro, who is off to sell charcoal.
You are putting too much stank on Tanjiro. It is fine to just say Tanjiro.
In the nearby town to help support his family. As he is a friendly fellow, he tends to spend far too much time helping out as many townspeople as he can. This makes him late.
I don't agree with that. I think that was the one instance of him helping and the rest was him selling charcoal. And it took a couple of seconds. I don't think that's what happened. I don't know for sure. It might have been a line of just, ooh, I helped Miss Johnson do whatever. I don't remember. And if it
I don't believe.
I don't believe it. But if it did happen, it lessens my opinion of Tanjiro.
Really?
Because he's so nice, y'all. He's so nice.
Are we gonna get that in this? He's nice.
What do you think? How is that even a question?
Because
What other defining character traits does this muff have?
Empathetic.
That speaks to niceness.
No, you can be empathetic and not nice.
That speaks to his niceness.
to arrive home too late to stop a demon from massacring his
He
family.
wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway.
Legitimately. I don't know how you can... I've heard arguments that it's Tanjiro blaming himself with that type of thing, but I don't know how you can blame yourself. It'd be like if you got home too late from... let's just say an alien came down and just blasted everybody in your house. What are you meant to do if you're there or not?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The best that you can be is a distraction, but you don't know for sure if that's gonna work. I guess the mindset is, I would rather do anything than to not be given the chance.
Which I can see, but I don't understand how you can blame yourself for that. You were out doing your duties.
There is nothing about him taking as a lot of time to
Cool.
with helping people.
Cool.
At least in the manga, there might have been something in the anime.
Cool.
With the exception of his sister, who is the sole survivor, having been turned into a demon herself by the attack. Tanjiro is then forced to defend his newly demonized sister from a nearby demon slayer, who was just following the trail of blood to their house. He probably should have killed both of them, but then we would have no story. So instead
Why would he kill Tanjiro?
He's saying too much.
What? No, because that's how you that's how you become a demon slayer.
We're
Demon
men in
Slayer
black in
rocks
this.
up.
We're men in black in this. We ain't got the technology. We just gotta wipe out people that see it.
Oh, you just gotta die, I guess. I'm doing you a kindness. You wouldn't want to live without your sister. So just go ahead and just walk into my sword.
The choice is yours.
I'm not going to kill you, but I'm just going to hold out my sword and whatever happens, baby.
promise in our young protagonist and a strange aura of sorts from his sister. Because of this, he decides to not
a strange
kill either
aura.
of them, and
It's literally her protecting him, and he's like a demon. Why is a demon protect? It's not an aura.
Yeah.
instead sends Tanjiro off to train and become a demon slayer himself. Tanjiro as a character is a bit beyond your stale shonen protagonist.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. What else is he, Soup Man? This is not a good pause, but that's irrelevant.
Who is a stale shonen protagonist?
The argument is that Asta is.
Based on what? Him wanting to be the best in his field?
Yelling, being the best in his field.
How's that still?
Friendship.
Between Naruto and Black Clover, how many shonen protagonists wanted to be the top of whatever?
As many as there needed to be to make this argument, darn it, because Tanjiro's different.
And since Asta, how many people have wanted to be the top of their field?
I need to read more shonen.
Yeah, you don't. You're good. Mashl's
Especially
whatever.
since they're just getting nuked 20 chapters in, just like, out of here.
Yeah, you're not a hit, so...
Oh, no, I don't remember anything about Samurai 8 Man. Who was he?
Hanimaru? I think his name was?
No, I mean, what was his personality?
He was a bit aloof.
I remember
Naruto-like.
I remember him being sad that he couldn't get out of his thing because of the things, and then I don't remember anything else about him as a person.
I think he just wanted to protect the princess. He didn't want to be the best of anything.
But was it a duty protect, or was it a we're gonna protect you? I don't remember. I don't remember anything about him.
Hey, dude.
No!
Why would you remember anything about Samurai 8? Honestly.
I remember the name this time.
Oh, yeah. You were Samurai 7 in it.
Why would he name it like that? Come on, you know what's going on. Oh my. Give me a good panel that shows him. What are you doing? Come on. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, I forgot that they were trying with this.
Of course. It's Kishimoto.
They wanted it.
You want to talk about a push?
Yeah, that was a push. That should not have gotten the 40 or whatever chapters. It was bad.
While he trains long and hard for the skills and abilities to become a demon slayer, there are particular portions of his humanity that he refuses to part with.
Yep.
Early on, his mentors look at this aspect.
Luffy, departed humanity. In
Naruto.
Jonathan, basically a vampire himself. Dude, come on now.
8 episodes in. And you haven't even gotten enough time to see if Tanjiro is going to depart from his humanity. Is going to turn into a more cruel person.
He hasn't been challenged enough that you could be like, okay, he definitely ain't wavering now. There hasn't been a, hey, kill that person or I'm going to kill your sister moment.
Imagine 8 episodes into Naruto, you're like, yeah, Sasuke is never going to turn. Because he's just kind of a goofball along with Naruto, even though he's a bit darker and more reserved.
He called him a chicken. It's like, that's not... If he didn't care about Naruto at all, if it was just like, he wouldn't have said anything. It would have just been like...
And he was the one that was like, yo, let's feed Naruto. So imagine 8 chapters in, you're like, this group's gonna be together forever.
Nothing's gonna break them up. No snake man's gonna rock up and bite this guy's neck and then just go come into the woods with me for 3 years. And then he does. Oh no. Oh no. Why did I record myself saying that?
20 chapters later.
Of him and call him weak, as they should if their desire is to train him into a deadly warrior, but he eventually becomes a skilled killer while at the same time showing massive amounts of sympathy for the demons that he is forced to slay. He's not going on a killing spree just to satisfy some kind of revenge plot.
Unlike Ichigo, I guess. No, it never happened with Ichigo.
I was about to say, Guts isn't even going on a killing spree. But that's also saying
But who is going on a killing spree?
for revenge.
All demons, I guess.
Has Natsu killed anyone? Again, he's different because of this. But then you just go, he's not going on a rampage, slaughtering millions, not even it's, you just have to say that he's not doing this thing and let the audience decide, like other shonen.
The most you can say is someone like Ichigo defeating Hollows, but Hollows, the ones that have literally no mind, really, I mean, they're essentially shadows to defeat.
But also, they don't just kill them, they purify them. This is a whole
so they can go back
thing.
into the cycle of reincarnation. That presents so many problems.
There's not a single problem presented.
There are many a problem.
Name 15,000.
A species of fish.
Can't argue. Bible,
fish.
The Bible and Soul Society have an equal fish problem.
They're just studying the book like this came from the human world. It happened to them too. Let's figure things out.
Just to satisfy some kind of revenge plot against the demon that killed his parents, nor something...
He said, Muzan, I will never forgive you, and I will be the one to take your head.
He hasn't gotten there yet. Oh, wait, I think he did.
No, that was right when Muzan was being met.
That was right when Muzan. Muzan was episode 7, yep.
So what are we doing here, guy?
Yeah, it's,
as blandly simple as to become the strongest.
Okay. 1, why is that bland?
Yep.
2, why
What's
is
the
that
problem?
simple? What is any more simple than I want to save my sister?
I want to save a family member.
How is that more complicated than I want to be the greatest person in this village?
I have to perform an action to reach my goal. In this case, I have to beat this person in order to become the Hokage or whatever. In this case, I have to stop this person in order to save my sister.
And again, how many of the, hundreds of shonen that have existed, how many have the person, the main character, the protagonist going, I want to be the insert title here of the best person?
Lest we never forget, Pirate King is not about being the strongest, nor the best. Deku does not want to be the strongest hero.
Senku did not want to be the greatest scientist. He just loves science.
JoJo's outside of part 5.
No, I don't even think he wanted to be the greatest gangster. He just wanted to take over this specific gangster organization.
Whatever that could mean. He's motivated by his desire to protect his sister and to eventually find a way.
This is Ichigo. What's the difference?
Yep. It's different because there's a difference.
How is it any different than Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen? How is it any different than Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho?
I do not care about his goal being different than just being the vague strongest or the best. That means literally
that exists
nothing.
in a couple dozen shonen in all of time.
What if somebody's goal was to make the biggest pile of in the universe? That's a different goal from everything else. But do I want to watch him try? We need to speak more about stuff that's just not different. Enough!
Yeah, it's like getting into the Guinness Book of World Records for some different thing. It's like, okay, you fit the most pins in your mouth. Okay. Good for you, I guess.
The last person did 12. You did 50. It's like, okay, good. Who cares?
If such a thing is even possible. As such, since his desire is to restore his sister's humanity, it'll do him no favors to forego his own humanity.
He did that like he dropped the truthiest of bombs. His own humanity. Pause for effect.
We have seen the demons be nothing. Tanjiro does not know, up until the hand demon, does not know of demons to be any sort of a sympathetic being.
No.
Maybe you could consider the whole Nezuko thing, but that's clearly a unique thing because Giyu was just like, what the So,
and we had him already encounter a demon who's just like, I will take your head off, kiddo.
So this whole thing just like
holding on to his humanity and all this bullshit.
It's just draining the way that people talk about Demon Slayer.
It always will be. It legitimately always will be. Until we get either a turn or we get a I can no longer just say animation and Tanjiro nice.
I can't wait for it to be finished and forgotten. That is my dream. That is what I am.
I mean, we got at least 2 more years of Demon Slayer.
I know.
Maybe 3 if they split that
Probably
Muzan arc into 2 parts.
It's going to be longer. But it will come one day. It will just be here.
It will be a thing that existed.
Yes.
The way people think about Yu Yu Hakusho.
There will be pockets of people that are still flying the flag, like Bleach.
iShield 21.
But it is a thing that existed and is over. I think we would still be getting... I think we would be going on the downturn if Naruto didn't have Boruto. I don't think that it would be forgotten. Definitely. I think that it would just be like, yeah, Naruto. But
Naruto is still in the zeitgeist of the public mind because you got the Naruto run and that type of thing. It has permeated the mainstream. You know what? That's funny. Because you could always go anime Dragon Ball. People knew what Dragon Ball was. I'm sure they know what Demon Slayer is. But can they tell me a thing from Demon Slayer? Yeah. Like, people know about screaming and power-ups and Kamehameha in Dragon Ball. People know about the Naruto run from Naruto. What can they tell me about Demon Slayer that is...
Other than pretty.
Penetrated the public mindset.
There is no, like, Bankai or something that somebody would scream.
There's not a particular, like, stance everybody has to take. Like, you could do a JoJo's pose. People know what a JoJo's pose looks like.
Or the fusion dance or something like that. It's like, what is a water breather's stance?
This is the stance.
Is it, like, defensive?
And that's another thing. Why wouldn't they do different stances for the breathing, at least, since it's all sword techniques? Why wouldn't it be like a repose or whatever it's called for a particular style, a slashing style, a more defensive style?
We didn't get enough into the style stuff to ask these questions. It's just...
But we didn't get them too deep into basically anything, because you got the ranking system, which we've mentioned a bunch of times, which is just here and forgotten and basically means nothing.
We got Wisteria, which is just here and forgotten and basically means nothing when it could change the world. We got these are the Nichiri ores. Oh, and you can also make guns and bullets out of them.
Okay, can we make other things out of... Wait, guns?
Yeah. What are guns? Yeah, of course we can make big other things. This guy got a big old spike ball.
Okay.
Look at that.
Can we do that?
Sure.
Will we do that?
He did it.
Can you make some arrows?
I wish. The technology just simply isn't here yet. Sorry.
And I feel like arrows would be
would be the best.
It would be even easier because you're using less metal per thing, too.
And you can retrieve it.
Yeah, why wouldn't arrows be part of this moveset?
Hey.
But dude, we ask these questions every time. And it's so funny because the commentary from them is cyclical. And because of that, our commentary has to be cyclical.
Because these muffs, surely if you were just going Demon Slayer, you would watch a video and go, oh, that mother was saying the same thing I would have said. Maybe switch it up a little bit.
But here's a question. Do even mid-range and above anime analysts watch each other's videos?
I think no, because I know some of them. I don't remember who it was, but they were just like, I don't want to be influenced by other people's.
So at that point, you can say, oh, you could watch a couple videos and say they're saying, but they're not watching videos. They're immediately just trying to put out their opinion, even if it's the exact same opinion as other people. It's like when I went to Yumasuke's video and he was like, ALX already talked about this video, but I don't watch it, so I didn't watch it, so I don't know if the points are going to be the same. And I'm like, that's parallel thinking. If you watch a thing, chances are you can come up with similar arguments for a thing. So if something is as popular and talked about as Demon Slayer,
surely you would want to be like,
all right, let me see what they're saying.
So I'm not just saying the same thing. Let me bring something new to the table. Let me bring my own perspective. Let me talk about Buddhism if I got to.
Yeah, anything else than Tanjiro Nice.
Tanjiro, he doesn't want to be the Pirate King. Did you think about that?
Him have empathy. Demons have humanity sometimes, I guess, whatever, 0 hour.
But then it could also just be a glass anime... What's this guy's name? What's this individual's name? Glass Reflections. A Glass Reflections fan may not necessarily be also a Mother's Basement fan.
But if that's the case, you could just ape off of anybody's thing and just go, I'm going to be the mecca for their thing. So why wouldn't you watch somebody else's video, take 70% of their points and just repurpose it?
Because there will be those people that are double fans.
Then they won't watch both of them. They'll come back to the one that sounds better.
No, there's people that, I used to do this after I watch a movie or something. I'll watch reviews and things.
Absolutely.
Like that.
But here's the thing. You'll watch both of them. You'll hear all the arguments. And then you'll go, I think they made the best of the arguments, or they were the most entertaining with their arguments. So I may want to listen to them in the future or re-listen to this one. If you listen to 5, let's just say The Room reviews. Now let's go with actual individual, at least somewhat positive movie. Upgrade. Nobody's really talking about Upgrade. If you watch 5 Upgrade reviews, and they're all basically saying the same thing, except for a few keys here and there, are you ever going to return to 3 of them over the 2 that were the best?
Yeah, you would gravitate to the people that, or would your mind just be clouded by going, the first and the second one are probably the best because the other 3
algorithm
said similar things and they got their, and you just watched them later. So, oh yeah, this camera trick was really good. It's like, okay, that guy just said that. And is it worth that they added a little more comedy to it when this is just something that you've heard over and over again, but with a little more comedy?
I don't know what I guess it would be on the individual and what they look for in a review. Do they just want a straight lace, here's the facts, here's my opinion, let's talk about the positives and negatives, or do they want a little bit more of the wackiness, like friends in a room joking stuff as they talk about the movie?
Displayed in his character is probably one of the things that I would point to as being unique enough from other.
Let me hear that whole thing again. That whole thangity thing. What?
What are these baboons doing playing this music all loud? It gets a little warm, and Mom just starts banging the jungle drums. Enough!
They've been doing this since we started, dude.
Fair, but we moved to get away from that.
I mean, since we started this recording, they've been doing it. Yeah.
Oh, I've not been paying attention.
His own humanity, the optimism displayed.
Oh, what?
I went back, dude. What?
Oh, his whole humanity.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that's what I needed.
Oh man, I need my short-term memory. Maybe I did notice the music, and I just was like, I'll say something after you stop talking, and then I just forgot.
The optimism displayed in his character is probably one of the things that I would point to as being unique enough from other shows and other shonen protagonists.
The optimism?
Yeah.
What optimism has he displayed?
The optimism of him going, I'm gonna turn her back.
But couldn't that also be seen as denial?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're fine. We're
gonna figure this out.
It's like
demons have been around for 300, 400, 500 years, but I'm gonna figure this out.
It's just like Homer with the pig going through the sewer. It's just like, it's still good. Okay, you're optimistic about it, but you're also in denial that it's not good.
No, this is a problem.
So I don't know,
but
if
it's not a problem because she doesn't have AIDS.
If he has actual optimism, because I don't know what he's shown to be optimistic of outside of we're gonna get this done, Nezuko, or if it's just denial of what's happening.
Good thing Glass Reflections is gonna give us an example.
No!
There's a moment in episode 7.
Oh, look at that!
You know what? You are tuned in to this guy, person, individual. We don't know what you are.
And specifically when a side character in an emotional rage questions Tanjiro on how he could possibly know about the pain of loss.
How do you know what pain of loss? You don't know me. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know the pain of loss.
That's like Clyde saying you haven't suffered like Naruto has suffered. What are you talking about?
I would never go to anybody going, you don't know the pain, because you don't know what pain anybody is going through. There was a video that really resonated with me. It was a dumb Burger King video. It was a training video.
Really?
And it was just like, be kind to everybody because you don't know what's going on. And it just sort of zoomed through everybody. It was just like, this father is taking his kid out because this is the first time they've seen each other in years because they were the kid was overseas fighting in the war. This person got horrible news and this is comfort food. This person is celebrating a graduation. It's like, be kind to everybody. You don't know what people are going through. You may just see this person just like, oh, this is a piece of
mother and customer.
Yeah, ordering 15 burgers and whatnot.
All special, Jesus Christ, them.
But it's just like, hey, yo, I'm allergic to onions. You don't know that they're allergic to onions. So when they just like, hey, this got onions on it, you're like, oh, this, and Karen, take this off. And it's like, no, I'm allergic to it.
Yeah, that was something that happened at my McDonald's where somebody was allergic to onions, and they were like, no onions. And then somebody was like, oh, that burger's supposed to have no onions, and they scraped the onions off. And then later on, it's just like, well, they had a reaction. It was a mild reaction, but it still was a reaction because the onion was like, oh, no. What it was they didn't change their gloves.
Yes.
It was just like, well, we didn't know you had an allergy. We just thought you didn't want onions. And it's a common enough mistake because there are people that just like, no pickle. Doesn't mean you're allergic to pickles, so I can still use these same pickle-touched gloves. I just won't give you pickles.
But yeah, this is just like, this is a manufactured moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I understand the kid is lashing out and everything.
Super mad at his girl being gone, his fiance.
But you know nothing about this person. You're yelling about, oh, my problems. My girl got eaten. Not by me.
Not like 2 nights ago.
You'll get that when you're older.
This is a whole different conversation
this
now.
This is the good kind, all right? This is the, you know, I like watching other people eat her, but not like this. Yeah, I'm a cuck.
It's natural.
No, don't clip that. Mother.
Do you want me to just cut it out? Do you just want it cut out? Because you know the first clip coming from this episode and subsequent clips coming from this episode.
I'm like, watching other people eat her. Yeah, I'm a cuck.
His feeling. Then, with a kind and polite smile, Tanjiro just shuts him down. He doesn't argue with him or correct him, and he doesn't turn into a contest of who has the more...
If I was ranting and raving at somebody and they slyly put my hand off their shoulder and just smiles at me, I get angrier. Yes. I'm like, are you not listening to me? Like, mother, what are you doing? I told you to pick that up because I keep stepping on it and it's ruining my...
And they're just a smile.
I'd be like,
Hey, can you please pick that up? This is like the 5th time I've said this. Hand on shoulder. Gentle smile. Gentle removal from shoulder.
Like, are you gonna do it? Is that a yeah?
As they walk out the door.
Backstory. While other shonen protagonists can smile through the pain for a variety of reasons, Tanjiro's smile has a different kind of hurt and pain behind it.
I agree.
Based on what?
The tragedy that he has suffered, unlike the other shonen who have never suffered a tragedy. And thus he must rise above
his hurt is more hurt than other shonen protag hurt.
Based upon some arbitrary metric of hurt that I have ascribed to this moment.
Cannot believe this nonsense. Cannot.
It has to be different. It has to be more. It has to be the same, but a little bit better, actually.
It's not something that ever consumes him like it might others.
Who are these others?
It doesn't consume Naruto when it should.
He was shunned through his childhood.
He rose above it. He's a prankster and a jokester, but it's better than being in Road to Ninja Naruto where he just like kill everybody. Death.
That sounds like a great idea there.
Genocide? Sure.
Kurama, you want to add on this, or
how about I just unleash the beast?
His sister, Nezuko, is a kawaii demon Imoto, and I know...
Okay, so, again, he doesn't let it consume him.
Yep.
And you move on.
What else can you move?
You've clearly experienced other shonen. You're talking about them in a way that differentiates Tanjiro, but you're not showing that differentiation.
Why would I need to?
You should have to.
Based on what?
Is that his scarf? That doesn't look like his scarf.
It's not his scarf,
Oh,
but it is a
okay.
scarf.
He doesn't wear a scarf.
I just described her as being a sister twice, but it's worth the extra emphasis. Her character, despite being mostly mute, is surprisingly communicative. Much of her actual communication.
I'm angry, I'm happy.
Yes. Why does she have this childlike mentality? Oh, she's just a little sister type. But she wasn't when Tanjiro rocked up and she was holding a baby. That wasn't her personality.
No,
so why is
this
she
ain't.
like this now?
It has been overwritten.
Oh, so we can have merchandise of this? So people can be like, clap, cute, kawaii, zoom in anime wins. This is the type of that it's catering to, because there's no reason why she should be rolling on the ground like that when she was talking like Tamayo and crap like that. There's none. Again, if we had this is a phenomenon that a person turned into a demon. So there's not even like case studies of yes, your mind reverts back to such and such and such and such.
If even in the show, it was like we had seen some recently turned demons be animalistic, and then as time went on, they were able to become more of a person, even if not the person they were before, at least more of a person. We had the quick turn of the demon with Muzan, and then after that, a lot of the demons turned, and it was just like, I'm still a person. But you know, Nezuko's special, so it's different.
But is it worth talking about 8 episodes in? Because you could ask the questions of just like, why is she like this? But there's no answer.
There's no need for an answer. To this day, people don't need an answer. What are you talking about? It's still just kawaii.
Since becoming a demon ends up being non-verbal, and it works pretty well. True, there have been several times in the story so far where they don't really know what to do with her, so they either toss her into a box or a coma for 2 years. But hopefully that was less because they don't know how to write a character like her properly, and more so only to further help bypass the training montage. Or
hey, how about you consume more of the product, and then you might have more answers. Like, by the time episode 8 came out, I'm sure they were 30 chapters from the end of the manga. So why not read the manga?
May 2019.
In May.
And where's the manga? Can we get a volume? Thank you. Chapters. My goodness. The volume that they were on was April. We'll go April. Dawn Approaches. Chapter 125 out of, oh my goodness, out of 200 or so. So
They were about 70 chapters behind.
So this was right when Nezuko walked into the sun.
There's so much information there.
There's an abundance of information, I would say. a cavalcade.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you know people are gonna jizz when this season ends with her walking in the sun.
And they're just gonna accept it, and they're just gonna clap. Because they are.
It's gonna, they're gonna have that emotional sweeping music of sad, just like Nezuko's gone, and she's gonna be there, and it's gonna be all triumphant, and the emotional roller coaster of Nezuko, and I can write y'all scripts.
Do you think that they're gonna add a lot to the final season? Because it was clearly rushed with the Zenitsu stuff and crap like that.
I feel like they're going to start laying the foundation for Zenitsu next arc. And I don't mean just with a letter. I mean, he's going to expand. He's going to tell Tanjiro about his co-pupil or whatever, or his master or whatever.
If they wanted to expand this a little bit, they could do an episode of a Zenitsu by himself, either training or going off on a mission. And then Inosuke or by himself or going off on a mission, just to further set up that last arc. Him with Shinobu.
Yep. Which would work. But No, we've got titties to animate flopping around.
And with Aoi, so that they could have some kind of connection before they're just like, yeah, they banged and they had kids.
Gentle smile, hand off shoulder.
And that's enough. That's storytelling.
Lack thereof. You see, every shonen has a training arc of some.
What was Death Note's training arc? Because it is a shonen.
Yes, it is. Did Fairy Tail? There was a time skip. Could that be counted as
I wouldn't count that as a training arc, no. Because there was no arc to train. The closest you can get to, like, it's not even like Yu Yu Hakusho, where we get flashbacks of him training with Genkai. There was no training for Fairy Tail. At least in that instance. No, there was a training arc where, they went to... No, I don't think there was a training arc either, though. When they went to that island and then went into the other world, the celestial world. Mm-hmm. It was like, it's been fine.
They wanted to train.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But then they didn't. And that wasn't even an arc. That was 2 episodes.
But Fairy Tail is also not a shonen. It is a shonen, but it is not Jump.
Yes. It is for young boys by definition. Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't know if Dr. Stone had one, but I'm not. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Any card game based. What can you train with? Every shonen has one. What about all the slice of life shonen? Like, we never learned. They didn't have a training arc.
It should be specialized to every battle shonen, but even then, it's just like, I wouldn't use the term every, especially considering
what was One Piece's training arc? Because they got split off, but that was not a training arc. Naruto's Rasengan is a training arc.
Even in Wano, where they were training with Luffy with his haki and stuff like that, that's not necessarily a training arc. That is
training
Wano
within the arc.
Yes.
As opposed to Naruto learning summoning. That's a training arc. That type of thing.
Ichigo, with his hollow mask and all
the Vizards
or whatever.
Kind where our protagonist has to face some kind of basic trial that still nonetheless pushes their abilities to the max. That trial can vary from eating hair and lifting over at the beach to being stranded with your brother on an island somewhere until your master decides to come and pick you back up. What I liked about Demon Slayer, though, is that while it does have a training arc for Tanjiro, it doesn't take forever and a day. It's really just one episode.
It's so fast, y'all. I don't care how quick or how long your training arc is, if it's good, if it's done well.
If you explain the mechanics of your world in a way that we can understand. Because let's not forget, this is also Tanjiro first learning about water breathing and stuff like that.
We don't get to see any of him learning the forms
And it would really help if we learn it, because that's an inbuilt way to explain it. Instead of just going, this is the thing that you use when you want to slay your enemies peacefully. Here we go. And just do it.
Like, did he have, like, a scroll of the different forms and how to do them and what they do? Water wheel, you turn.
It like a wheel. Because that's what Avatar did. They had water bending, and it was just like, hand like this, hand like this, hand like this, water. It's like, okay, that's pretty straightforward. So what is the beginnings of a water wheel? Spin. Okay, now you got that spin down. Spin with your sword out. Okay, now we're moving on to Blessed Rain.
And here's the problem with this training arc and how fast it goes. We see Tanjiro building up his physical stuff. Even his lungs will say he builds up that type of thing. But we never see him build up to the forms. We never get to see, again, we've said this before, if he's just in a river somewhere, And Orokodaki is just spinning him around and around and around in the river. So he knows the feeling of water wheel, that type of thing. We never get to see this. The training arc is the most basic of training to do this fantastical thing.
We never see him, because there's one that's a stabbing one. We never see him with like a training dummy and Orokodaki's like moving it and just like poke where the thing is moving. And he fakes them out.
And there's something behind him, so it's just like you can't go that far back. You've got to do it from this angle.
Yeah, you can't go too far in because then you've just left yourself vulnerable. So there's a perfect stab that you need to go through them, harm them, but not put yourself at risk. This is Form 8, stabby wabby.
Stabby wabby.
But that would be very helpful instead of just going...
Poker, hardly newer.
Goodness gracious.
But again, yes, that would be
better than just going, this works best underwater whirlpool.
Okay, when did you learn the whirlpool? If he was underwater, if Orokodaki and him were training, and he was trying to do whirlpool, and Orokodaki knocked him into the water and said, try now, and you would get something! There's nothing!
Nothing.
Why can't Zenitsu learn more forms?
What's preventing?
Why can't his co-pupil learn that form? What is preventing these people?
And I would rather have an elongated training arc if I fully believe that they've gotten to this point. Because when Tanjiro cuts the rock, it's just like, well, he cut the rock. What is different between the moment that before the Ghost Children came and to now? What's the difference?
6 months of training and perfecting his form.
He trained. Okay, what does that mean?
See, this is something different from like Naruto, where you got the balloon and then the ball. You're learning control to not burst the balloon. You're learning force to blow up the tennis ball. And now you're hitting the tree over and over and over and over again. We see the mechanics of how this thing works, so when he does it, we know what he did to accomplish this thing. Tanjiro, I don't know what he did to get water wheel. Truly don't.
He just did it.
We just woke up one day and he knows all the forms.
Legitimately, Ippo is nuts where it's just like, turn on your big toe.
You feel that big... We're strengthening up your big toe because when you pivot, your strength is going to come from there.
Hammer these in logs into this heel. Now you got that turning motion so that when you punch, like the turn that you've done, you know the motion because you've done it 50,000 times.
You are an end boxer. That means you're going to weave in and out. You see these logs? Go under them.
And then he puts it all together and we see every step of that. And then it's the Dempsey roll and you go, okay, the weaving, the turning, the big meat punching. All of these things are coming together. But then we just have to go, no, Blessed Rain after the drought. It just is. Flowing dance. He just moves. It's crazy.
Dang, where's my... Can you look up the forms of water breathing? I just want to think about what they do. Because, of course, we know Blessed Rain after a drought.
That's our favorite.
Everybody knows Blessed Rain after a drought.
Everybody does.
Iconic, you might say.
One might say.
We know water wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Water surface slash.
I would assume it's just the horizontal slash. Or is that the vertical slash?
The user crosses their arm and generates enough momentum to create a singular concentrated slash, which is often horizontal.
Okay, yep.
Water wheel.
Yeah, of course. The classic.
And you have the lateral water wheel. Flowing dance.
I would assume that involves footwork of some kind. Maybe a circular motion from the user.
The user swings and bends their blades in a winding motion across their body and dances in a flowing pattern, slicing everything in its path. Striking tide.
I would assume that's the stabby one.
The user performs a multitude of slashes in a flowing fashion to release multiple consecutive slashes.
When did you do this?
I don't remember.
Huh. I don't remember that one.
Fifth form, Blessed Rain After a Drought.
The greatest.
The user changes the grip on their sword, obviously, which...
Ka-clink.
Yep, which means painless,
Gentle smile.
And decapitates the opponents in a single flowing strike. Everything is a single flowing strike that causes little to no pain. How do you know that? How do you determine that? It is the sword strike of kindness used when an enemy willingly surrenders. Whirlpool.
In the water. I would assume just some type of typhoon thing.
The user twists their body using their blade to perform a fierce whirling motion, which generates a whirlpool of air to shred anything caught in its current like a sharp blade. So we're doing Dragon Twister?
Yeah, it sure sounds like
I don't remember him ever doing that and it working like that. Its effect and efficiency is enhanced underwater, where the user can draw the water around their blade to create a whirling currents, enhancing their slices. There's also Whirlpool Flow, a combination of flowing dance and whirlpool created by Tanjiro. The user combines their footwork with flowing dance and the twisting motion of whirlpool, performing an action around the user that conjures a twisting, swirling, vicious flow of water, directing projectiles from multiple angles. Drop, ripple, thrust. Well, that's pretty simple.
Yeah, thrust.
There's also drop, ripple, thrust, curve, a modified strike that hits from a specific angle corresponding to the sword structure when nearly nullifying the impact and momentum of a moving object. Excuse me? Maybe Chapter 16! Whatever.
Maybe like a boulder coming in.
I'll never know.
Okay, cool.
Waterfall basin.
I would assume that's a vertical boy.
The user cuts the target vertically in a flowing motion.
Okay, so what's the difference between that and number one? Even though that one's typically horizontal, it can be done vertically.
Which is most effective when they're falling downwards. You should have waited.
How is that any more?
Let me cook.
How is that any different from the first one if they're falling off a rock?
Well, you know. Splashing water flow. Turbulent. Ninth form.
I guess that's the combination of all the forms? Or is that the 10th form?
That's the 10th form.
I have no idea on that one yet.
The user changes their footwork in a way that minimizes the landing time and surface needed when landing, allowing the user to move without limits. Oh, that's what he used in the drum house. Ideal when fighting a place with no solid footholds. That's not a form. That's just moving.
Yeah, that's a movement. What are we doing? It wasn't even a flowing motion.
10th form.
Flowing slash.
The user changes their targets. The user charges towards their targets while performing a continuous flowing attack with their blade, which increases in strength and speed over time using momentum. Excuse me, whatever. Doesn't matter. And of course, we've got the 11th form because, as we know, 11 is more than 10.
And I can't create these things.
Everybody can create these things unless the people can't, in which case, why can't they? A personal creation of water, Hashira Giyu. The user ceases all body motions and enters a state of complete tranquility, deflecting, blocking, and cutting almost any incoming attack with imperceptible speed with their blade. However, its effectiveness is limited as fast and numerous attacks can break through. Have we ever seen that? Oh, we probably did with Akaza, which I do not remember.
I would say it's actually maybe even in the Flame and Water manga of the Flame Hashira and the Water Hashira, they had a side manga.
If you say so.
Yeah, it was Rengoku and it was Giyu.
I'm riveted. Here we go. I wanna read that right now.
It doesn't sound like you do.
It doesn't sound like I want to do. Holy crap.
What?
It is the first form and the eighth form are literally the same.
Yeah.
This is cheeks. This sucks.
Even if in universe he's at it for over a year. Now, on the one hand...
And is a year in an episode enough time for us to fully understand what a character went through and to see the growth and to believe the growth? I do not believe that it is.
Depends on the individual.
Depends on what happens.
Yes.
In this case, it wasn't. It could just be like, all right, here's 5 minutes of the first month. Here's 5 minutes of 5 months later.
Yeah.
And you can see them putting it together. It can be done. It was not done well here.
To invest heavily in both his actions over that year and also the relationships that he cultivates with his teacher and the other guides who help him out, because, you know, it's just one episode and the lack of time doesn't help us cement these characters in our minds.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's also only so much you can do with a training arc that hasn't been done before.
Irrelevant.
Character exploration and growing a relationship with a person has been done before in training arcs, so we should not have them here.
You have to make this character who knows nothing about anything go from this to slaying a demon. That's footwork, that's strength building up, that's breathing, that's all sorts of things that you can do. There is nothing like that in a Bleach. They don't have to worry about breathing correctly, so you can do it uniquely.
Outside of brevity, what did that single episode give us that hasn't been done in other training arcs? Because you say there's only so much you could do about a training arc and still make it unique. That would mean that in this one episode, it was unique in some aspect. What was the uniqueness of it? Because it doesn't seem like there was anything unique. And if that's the case, why not just go full force and give us more with these characters?
Bypassing it in this way is quite refreshing.
Just give up, mangaka. Just give up, viewer. Who cares if we don't get the relationship of these characters? Who gives two? We get to move on quickly. It's unbelievable, dude.
Who wants to learn about things?
I would rather have Naruto's arc of learning the Rasengan and getting Tsunade's backstory and all of this
100%.
stuff. I would rather get that over 8 episodes than a single episode of yada yada, we're out of here.
This is a great example of Demon Slayer holding many of the same tropes common to the genre, enough so that you can clearly see that it belongs in the genre, but not allowing that to bore its audience or...
Was the audience bored of Naruto, one of the most popular shonen of all time in the training arc of the Rasengan?
Was the audience bored of Hunter x Hunter's training arc, where they're trying to push the big door, where they're learning about Nin?
If an audience is so bored that they need constant pushing and moving and action to be engaged in something, read something else, watch something else, come back when it's over.
Maybe that's not what we're doing here.
It's not on the mangaka to motherfucking condense
every single person.
to condense as much as possible so these people can get to the thing they really want to see, the big slashy swing. Just give up.
Yeah, if you can't take 2 episodes of explaining an entire power system and a character going from nothing to being surprised that they can kill a demon, what are we doing here?
And keep an audience engaged during that time.
What do you want from a shonen if you can't do that? If you're not interested in that for 2 episodes, as you're learning about this character more with their motivation, their never give up attitude, maybe seeing them giving up sometime, but then coming back the next day.
Is refining the shonen genre or the formula simply it's quicker.
The story becomes stale because of it. There's also a bit...
What story became stale in the shonen genre because of a training arc? Please name a single one.
I can't think of any.
Of hope in this show's future. Now, this is going to get a bit into spoiler territory, so I would advise you to skip this.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
what matters
Manga
to you.
boy.
Now, I haven't read the manga yet.
I thought you were in tune with this guy, DA. What happened, DA? It's almost like he's a complete and total bum, DA.
Unbelievable. How'd I get the woo-wop?
You got
The words weren't even out of my lips fully.
You got okie doke before the doke was complete. You're in the middle of an okie doke, and you're like, nah, there's no there.
Maybe there's something in there that fixes this, but episode 7 of the anime is when they finally introduce us to the show's lead villain of sorts. For me, this was strange for a number of reasons. First, there are many unexplained circumstances to demonstrate how this villain demon went from being, our lead baddie by killing Tanjiro's family to just pleasantly living in a city far away. Alright.
Tanjiro made it there?
Yeah.
And he's a demon! They've been shown to be strong and fast. What are we?
Are we meant to have his entire motivation the second that we see him?
Second, it's odd that this encounter occurred so soon.
But it's unique. It's refreshing. It's awesome because of that.
Yes,
So quick, so fast.
It's all.
Catalyst.
What's the problem?
The series is supposed to wrap up, or at least end on a narrative stopping point, after 2 cours, about 24 episodes, so I was expecting far more foreshadowing of this villain over the course of the next 10 episodes or so, as Tanjiro hunts other demons to find...
Did he say the series was supposed to wrap up? Did he think Demon Slayer was a season?
I will grant him this. In England, series are seasons.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm not saying this individual was necessarily British, but they might be
subscribing to that way of...
find out the villain's location or similar. So for Tanjiro to just have found him now under these circumstances was quite interesting. Spoiler section.
It's not interesting. It's ridiculous.
It's just like, oh, there he is.
Over. You can come back now. Again, a lot of this series is just tightening up the popular tropes of the genre, and
Agreed.
It is quicker.
I agree.
That's all it is. It's not tightening it up. It's just going faster. If there is a shopping cart with a loose wheel, they didn't screw the nut to make the wheel not loose. They just went faster while still on the loose wheel. And if it breaks down, it's just going to break down even faster. It is just going faster.
We know what's up here.
presenting them in a refined form, which...
You haven't explained that.
No, he did. It's faster.
You haven't demonstrated.
It's quick,
that.
tight.
An episode of training. Oh, that's refined, I guess.
Wasn't that cool? Yes.
Them in a refined form, which I don't think would have worked as well if it were not for Ufotable.
No, it wouldn't have worked, period. Because read the manga.
Yep.
Where are all you people reading the manga? I read the manga.
I read the manga.
I read the manga 2 to 3 times.
I don't care about animation. I actively chose not to read, to watch Demon Train and read the manga. Because I'm sick of it.
Now, I was worried about this production going into it, because while Ufotable has made some of my favorite anime of all time, and certainly has some of the best produced from an animation standpoint, unless it has something to do with Type Moon like Fate or Garden of Sinners, then it has otherwise been fairly unremarkable. I still remember being hyped as hell for God Eater a few years back, only for it to become a series that most of us have now forgotten about.
Pause. Is that due to Ufotable, or is that due to the writer not writing a very good manga?
Yes.
They take in already established works and they adapt it. That's what they do. I don't think that it's Ufotable to be blamed for...
Unless they created God Eater. Which, I don't know. I've never watched God Eater.
Let's see.
Because, again, animation does zilchoid to your boy. God, it's so warm.
Oh, it's so great.
It's awful, dude.
I'm fasting. Whenever I fast, I don't like to sit around and just watch people eat. So I'll just walk around. I'm like, yeah, it's nice. I can walk around. It's great. It's fantastic. I love just walking around in the nice warmness.
I miss opening my door and hitting that cool breath of air. This in hot box. This sweat box.
It's fine.
It's death.
You what? It's hard to find. Okay, here we go. Let's see if it was adapted from a manga
Or a light novel.
Or a light novel.
Or a video game. Or any other subsequent thing.
I don't believe it was. It's a prequel, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it is a wholly original, straight from the teat thing. Hey, why don't I just look up God Eater manga? Why didn't I just do that?
What did you look up?
UFO table. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the manga came out first because it's a Kingdom Hearts manga.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the anime came out first for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
It's a PSP game.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, God Eater. That sounds familiar.
Okay. I'll accept that.
There you go.
That's a thing. I think UFO Table just needed some time to figure out some styles that worked. In this case, Demon Slayer is far...
Okay, but what's to say about the things that transcend this animation, like One Piece? The most popular manga of all time. Most sold, whatever. However you want to say that.
Yes.
And for 23 years, it had middling to pretty good to great animation in sort of small
and
bursts.
also downright horrible animation.
And downright bad animation. What's to say? What are we saying about that?
What caused that meteoric rise of One Piece? Because it did not have a crutch of animation. What caused Naruto and Bleach to explode in popularity? Over something like a My Hero, which people clapped a lot for the animation, but it also isn't as pretty as a Demon Slayer. Jujutsu Kaisen was the same type of thing. So many people clap for the animation and the art style. Not even the art style, but the art direction of the anime, as opposed to the story. And they also praise the complexity of the power system. And that's about where their praises begin and end.
They got moments of money go up, Sasuga, it looks real pretty, but for the most part, it is fairly okay animation.
Here's the thing. You get all these, Jujutsu Kaisen does so well in America. The movie made so much money. I haven't heard anybody talk about the story of that movie. I don't know what it's about. I've never looked it up, and I've never had anybody tell me what it is. It's never come across my radar in the multitude of things that I read and watch consuming in regards to anime discussion.
Crazy how that works, huh?
Maybe just being pretty isn't good enough. And one day it might not be good enough for Demon Slayer. To where people have to think, okay, why do I like this thing?
I do not think that it will ever be that.
This arc, the next arc doesn't really have a fight. It's just them training. Is it going to be popular?
Yes, because I think it's short enough that they're going to do it in 3 episodes, maybe 4, and then just keep it rocking.
To heading into the final arc?
Yes, because we've also got that big hype of, oh crap, everybody's getting ready for the big fight. So that's going to carry people to that. Yeah. We're old. We're past that. It's over.
I don't even think we're old because we've got a bunch of 15-year-olds in our Discord going, Demon Slayer's the poopy it's the drizzle and it's because of things like Oh Pretty. Because they're not doing anything story-wise that would make people gravitate towards them. They're just really pretty. Like, if your first inclination of consuming this piece of media is, I own all the manga, but I want to wait for the animation or for the anime, it tells me of what you really care about.
What you value. You don't care about continuing the story, seeing where the characters end up. You don't care enough about it to actually find out about it by reading it.
When I caught up in One Piece, I need to read the manga now. I didn't go, let me wait for the next week for the new... No. Where is that manga now?
More style than substance.
Wait.
Styles that worked. In this case, Demon Slayer is far more style than substance.
He knows the drill.
Now,
so what's it refining? If there's no substance.
You can't be both style over substance, but also is refining
the formula.
Sounds like substance to me.
Substance. Now, usually, what I just said, that phrase gets used in a negative light. It's meant to highlight the lack of a good story. However, as I have hopefully showcased, that's not necessarily the case.
You haven't showcased a good story. You showcased 2 characters, a motivation, and 7 episodes. I can also make things look good if I have 20 minutes of footage to use on a thing.
Has he said water breathing?
No!
I see.
He hasn't said breathing at all. He hasn't mentioned the hand demon at all.
Or swamp demon.
He has no time for this. It's so quick.
Here, there is a story, and for what it is well written and
what it is.
Engaging, but
that's what I was waiting for. For what it is. What is it? It is just a typical shonen story. Okay, what makes it well written then? What is it about Demon Slayer that is well written? You've got Tanjiro being super nice that you said. Nezuko being super cute that you said. What's next? What is the next praise that makes it engaging? That makes it good? I can't understand these people.
It's crazy.
Specifically for something unique that hasn't been done before.
You're going to be looking for the next forever. 50 years, dude. I can't pick up a video game and just go, this is an experience I have never experienced in any other video game in history ever. If it's a platformer, I've played platformers before. 2D side scrollers, I've played those before.
Hey, X to jump. Oh, just like in Mario. You didn't use X to jump. Shut up.
But I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Is it good?
The Exorcist girl thing. It's about a girl who sees ghosts. We got Liar Satsuki about a girl that can see ghosts.
Yes.
And we got the ever superior Miracle Chan, the manga about a girl that can see ghosts.
I don't think that's the name of the manga.
It's about a girl that can see ghosts. And I'm not just like, oh, seeing ghosts just like in, how does this compare? No. It is 3 separate things about a seeing ghosts, and they handle it all completely differently.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know about the other one, but yeah, it is way different.
I love it. It's really good.
Yeah, Liar Satsuki is.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is.
It's fine.
It's good.
It's fine.
It's good.
No, it's good.
It's good.
Fine.
It's good.
Then yeah, you might want to take a gander elsewhere.
Where elsewhere? Can you recommend me a wholly original type of manga, please? And I would submit that it would take you, years to find me a shonen that is wholly unique.
Give me 60% unique.
Said though, Demon Slayer is more of a refinement of the narrative rather than an attempt at reinventing the wheel, and it is noteworthy for just how well it accomplishes that.
How does it accomplish it well, especially when you're only 7 episodes deep?
What's well about it? He's fought 2 demons?
And at that time, 3 if you want to count the anime, the dude that was just like, or the couple that were just like, please tell me how to turn my sister back.
He's showcased maybe 4 or 5 forms.
That sounds about right.
That you not talked about at all.
Didn't mention the comedy. Didn't mention the action. Barely mentioned the drama. What is it?
Refined.
Just up to present day and what we have seen so far. There's still quite a bit to go, and this has only been my first reaction to the series. Maybe the story will surprise us and turn into something quite different from what I am expecting. Time will tell.
You can tell now by picking up the book.
There's no way to tell.
Thank you for joining me in this quick discussion. There will be streaming links in the description should you acquire them, brought to you by the wonderful sponsor of this video, Crunchyroll, and the awesome people over there. Please also let me know down in the comments what else you have been following this season, and hopefully we will get to talking about it in a future video, potentially a wrap-up for the season, as that is rapidly approaching. Lastly, a big thank you to all of my patrons who make these videos possible. And until next time, watch more anime. Getting close without touching the lens.
That people who have a structured
and stay frosty
outfit like that, like a nostalgia crate, have multiple versions, or is it just one that gets watched a lot? As I was saying, I was like, "Oh, this sounds stupid."
I know
abort.
I know Review Bruh has a lot of suits he wears when he's reviewing food. Who is this? Glass what?
Glass Reflection.
Glass Reflection. All right. I just would love to see.
I looked for a My Anime List.
No, My Anime List. What has been recent talks about Demon Slayer from him? Because this was 7 episodes deep.
Yeah, I could have told you that. There's nothing else.
Then what are we doing?
Yeah, I could have told you that. I looked.
Yeah, this is worthless.
There's no nah.
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and look over on their Twitter, and I'm going to search for Demon Slayer to see. That's like an 8.
9. He pissed me off near the end.
Well, that's not very fair. I'm gonna look up Demon Slayer on the old Twitter.
What is this guy? This is nothing content, dude. It's a lot of just anime reviews, honestly.
Yes, there are 4 tweets about Demon Slayer. There's the tweet for this video.
Of course.
There's talking about the animation.
Of course.
There is talking about an award.
Of course.
And there's talking about an award.
Of course. It's so pretty. It's so good. It's so win. Yeah. Don't know what we're doing Saturday.
Don't know what we're doing next week. That's a big problem.
That's the big problem. We should honestly just start discussing that.
But that's
but we
our
won't.
Style.
But we won't. We legitimately just won't. It'll be so. We talk about what we're doing on a Tuesday. It's gonna be a Monday night, and we're gonna be like, "Hey, it's 100. Let's put a little bit more thought into this one."
But legitimately, what could it be? Again, if we had a break glass in case of emergency,
yeah, type of thing.
But we don't.
If I thought about once redoing the Oceanus, the first video we ever did, but it's so long, so it's just
pretty long.
It's just like, nah, I kind of don't want to do that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, or we won't figure it out,
and it'll be a regular episode,
regular episode
where we just say something. It's our 100th.
Yep.
Suck it,
or we just do feel because it's for us.
We can finally do that. Review the podcast.
Oh my goodness! But that's so long.
It is so long. That is true.
Again, we can talk about this on Monday, as is required. like we gonna do anything else. We know what's up.
Y'all know what's up. That's
Everybody
the thing.
know what's up.
What's up? Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else to talk about.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I also like to pee. Pee. Wee. Woo. No, you were ending on that? It's fine? Okay.